I need you to stop right now. If you are considering, or even if it's remotely crossed your mind about having a long distance relationship with somebody that you met online from the Philippines or from any other country, this is the video that you need to see. This will save you. These are 5 questions that you need to ask before you even consider having a long distance relationship. Check it out. Are you guys in a situation like I was about a year ago where I've dated a lot of American women locally and it just didn't seem to work out? I'm not cutting, I have no problem. I love my American women. I love all women, to be honest with you. But it just seemed in this day and age that there's a lot of more of a feminist movement. And me getting up there in years, I just want a more traditional love, even if it made me start looking overseas and online dating and possibly thinking about that I probably will not see this woman for up to a year, which, that didn't work. I flew to the Philippines, but those are things that you have to consider if you're gonna jump into the long distance relationship. Now here's 5 things that you must consider, or actually some questions that you need to ask yourself before you get started. The first question that you really must consider when you're thinking about dating somebody from overseas is that, what are my goals? Am I in it just because I'm lonely and I just want somebody here, or am I in it to find a wife, a partner, somebody that helps cooks, cleans, they have kids? That's probably the first most important thing that you must ask yourself. Though me personally, I'm like I said, I'm getting up there in age and I wanted to find my lifetime partner that shared the same interests that I had. So with question number 1, always think to yourself, why am I looking overseas? Why am I gonna jump into a long distance relationship? Am I ready for the long distance relationship? Think about it, guys. This is a lifelong commitment. It's both financially and emotionally tolling. It's not the easiest thing in the world. So number 1, what am I looking for? What is the end game? What are my long-term goals once I do find that person? Number 2 is also important. Am I emotionally ready to take on a long distance or a long-term lifetime partner or commitment? In my case, I was dating a girl, a local girl, for about 10 years. We had a good relationship, and towards the end it just got a little bit messy and it just didn't quite work out. And I took about 2 years off of dating. Granted, I met some nice people and hung out and had a good time, but my mindset wasn't there for that emotional commitment to say, you are the one, you're the only one, and you are going to be the person that I spend the rest of my life with. So number 2 is really important, because when you think about it, it's not just you that needs to be emotionally ready to be with somebody for the rest of your life, possibly with kids, but is your partner emotional ready? The problem with our society today is we live in an instant gratification society. And what I mean by that is we just want everything to come to us and we want it to happen immediately without putting a lot of effort. So guys, just always remember to ask yourself before you jump into any type of long distance or long-term relationship, am I there yet? Can I stop looking for the bad in people and just concentrate on the good? Because nobody's perfect, man. Nobody is perfect. If you find that perfect girl, man, you're the unicorn, right? And she's a unicorn. You guys better just, get married right away, right? But I wouldn't recommend that. But just think to yourself, am I to the stage, am I emotionally available enough to find good in people and not look at the bad of people, right? So that's number 2, guys. Am I emotionally available to start this relationship and see it all the way through? All right, guys, so we're on number 3, right? And this is just as important as the first 2, but one thing you must consider is, what are my deal breakers? I mean, what are the things that if somebody does it, whether it's me or her, that should just absolutely kill the relationship? I mean, we just shouldn't go any further if this happens. And I'll give you an example. For me, it's trust, right? And think about it, guys. I'm living here in South Carolina and she's in the Philippines. I have to have a good amount of trust in her that she's going to make the right decisions to further our relationship along. And if I start noticing that things aren't right, or, wondering, is she talking to somebody else? That's just non-negotiable. I'm just not even going to go there. I've got to trust her wholeheartedly, because I'm putting myself on the line. I'm not going out and messing around with other people, and I'm going to expect her to do the same. If I start losing that trust, we've got nothing, right? I'm gone. And hopefully that she feels the same way. If she starts not trusting me, then she should leave as well. Think about it. We get into these long distance relationships because we're looking for something, right? Granted, you might have some people that just love to argue and just have somebody there just to take up with you and pass the time. But most of us, we just want to live happy, right? We don't want to be worried about things, because it's going to be a financial investment, because you're going to have to go there. And if you want to bring her to the United States, you're going to have to do a visa and things like that. So my deal breaker is trust, right? You must think to yourself as well, what are your deal breakers? Write everything down that is non-negotiable and see if that's going to work in your relationship. And tell her up front, hey, if I lose trust in you, I'm going to leave. So guys, that was number 3. What are your deal breakers? All right, guys, so we're on number 4. Number 4 is it's hard to talk about, but if you're going to jump into a long-term relationship, it needs to be discussed, and that is the financials, right? It's hard to talk about. You must ask yourself, am I financially secure to not only take care of myself, but need be possibly take care of her? Remember, you're getting into more than likely a traditional type relationship. Now, I'm not saying you need to write a check and pay for everything and just be the sole breadwinner. If that's your prerogative, that's okay. But you've got gifts, you've got a birthday, you've got holidays. And believe it or not, guys, you are the man in the relationship. You're expected to be the breadwinner. It comes with, if you want a feminist woman in the U.S., it might not be the case, and you can probably just scratch number 4 off the list because it's different here. But if you want that traditional man as head of the household, he's the director, the woman, she's the right arm of the man, she takes care of most of the responsibilities. And that's, in a lot of these overseas countries, they don't have the feminist movement like we do. But that comes with that is, are you financially secure to take care of yourself and possibly a growing family? You might have kids. If you're not, don't even think about it, guys. As much as we hate to admit it, money matters in these cases. I don't think a girl, if you find the right one, money isn't going to be a big deal, but you still need to be a man and take care of your responsibilities, guys. So write that down. Once you're considering jumping into a long-term type relationship, that's a question you need to ask. Am I financially there? Don't be that broke Tyrone just playing with people, Be a man about it, guys. Handle your business, right? Let's move on to number 5. All right, guys, so we're on number 5. This is just as important as the other 4, right? You have to think to yourself, do you have a good support system that locally that's going to be there during your times of need, And I'm talking about emotionally, but not only emotionally, but let's say if you got a flat tire and you need a ride to the store or you need a ride to work or whatever. Guys, you're in a long distance relationship. She is not going to be there to go pick you up, to take you to the store. So just make sure that you have a good, stable system that if something goes wrong on your end, that you've got a plan in place to take care of it. It's a sacrifice for you both, right? In my case, I think it's worth it. It's a little bit of sacrifice in the beginning. And I think in the long run, once we're together, fingers crossed that, going back to the trust issues, that everything works out and we just, have a great family and a great lifeline partner, But in the meantime, you guys, think about it. Before you jump into any type of long-term relationship, are you there with a good support system? So if something goes wrong on your end, you have somewhere to go or somebody that could help you out of your problems, you know, and that can even go emotionally. Sometimes you might have a emotional issue and you just need somebody there just to talk to, right? Whether it's a family member, whether it's a good friend, just make sure that you have all that stuff in place before you jump in these relationships. Well, anyways, that's all that I have today, folks. I want you guys to help me get this channel going. You know, I'm on the road to 100 subscribers, right? I know that's kind of crazy to even think about it. We've only been going on for about a month, and I get it. But I just want to ensure, you know, if you subscribe, that I'm going to give you guys good content. I'm going to give you the real. I'm not going to give you anything fake. Join me on this journey. You know, I answer all the questions. If you want to know something, or if you want to know more about my relationship, what's the best way to go about things, man, just ask, man. I am very accessible. Annie's very accessible. Come join our journey, you know. Be a part of our team, and let me be a part of your team, guys. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. Have a good night.